FreeMMOStation.com.
Hey, what's going on, FreeMMOStation? I'm Skyline Shore, and today we're looking at Rise of Incarnates. Rise of Incarnates is going to be a 2v2 free-to-play freaking fighting game. And we are really excited, especially the fighting community and also the free MMO community, because this is sort of like a hybrid crossover genre kind of thing. It's really new, it's really fresh, and honestly, we don't see many fighting games on the PC, let alone free-to-play fighting games. I know we kind of have games that are like Dragon Nest, which do have really good mechanical PvP, but heavily focus on PvE. And then we have MOBAs, but this is like the first actual fighting game that's free-to-play 2v2, like, it's totally awesome, and I'm really glad that they have the limitation of 2v2, because tag team fighting is the best, period. That's my opinion. I love 2v2 in any genre, and I'm so excited for this game. So, I actually got into the game, and I have my first impressions here. Do I like it? What do I think, guys? Okay. I'm a little disappointed. I'll admit it. The game feels a little bit slow. I play Naruto Full Burst. That's a really good game. I'm actually planning on getting the new Naruto. It's really fast-paced. It takes what you would see in Dragon Ball Z, Budokai, or something like that, and gives it a little bit more linearity or horizontal gameplay. It's not all just up in the air 3D space fighting. It gives it a little bit more of a flat space, so then you can move around and fight, and it makes the game feel really fast, because you're able to do some different abilities then, like chakra dashing and stuff like that. This game kind of brings back the whole 3D space thing, and then at the same time, you don't have any of the cool mechanics that comes with fighting on the ground. You do kind of have dashes, you can like float up in the air and jump and everything, but it still feels really floaty. You still have that floaty feeling that you would have in Dragon Ball Z versus Naruto, where you have the ground fighting. And yeah, you do go in the air and everything, but you have these really cool dashes, and it feels so much faster. The attacks are a little bit more homing and stuff like that, but basically, it has the same control scheme and kind of the same thought process that goes into the game design here. Combos do exist, but they don't exist in the terms of like Killer Instinct or Mortal Kombat. In Killer Instinct or Mortal Kombat, it is extremely technical. You have to do basically manuals and do all these different things. You basically have to press like punch, light punch, heavy punch, all this different stuff. In this game, it's a little bit different. It's more like you hold right and you press attack, you do an attack, hold left. It's just like Naruto. You press the direction and then you attack. You can also do ranged attacks, and then you do have power attacks, but overall, you're kind of limited in your technicality, especially in terms of the mechanicalness with the maneuverability and the mobility of the game. You can't really dodge like you can in like MMOs and things, where you have a 3D space that you can really move around in. In this game, it doesn't really feel like that. Yeah, you do have a 3D space, you do have an arena, but even though you can move around and there is more mobility than, say, a game like Mortal Kombat or Soul Calibur, it just doesn't feel like it. You just kind of feel like you're floating in dead air. Like, you don't really do anything in that space. You're not doing any of the crazy moves that you'd see in Naruto. So, I mean, you do have dashes and everything. It's just a little bit slower than Naruto, which is the fastest fighting game out there that actually is in a 3D space. So, I have to say that. I think I have more fun in MMOs when I'm in arenas and everything, because there's more differentiation, you have different abilities, customization, stuff like that. So in this fighting game, to make up for all that, I really expect a lot of different skills, and so there is a game called Archblade. Archblade is pretty much just like this game. It's like a 4v4 fighting game, but it really feels like a third-person MOBA-esque. You only have a few abilities, you can use them, and you fight, and it's just a battle arena, right? This game, it's supposed to be a 2v2 fighting game, so we're supposed to have a lot of technical and mechanical and there should be a lot of depth to the fighting, but I'm not feeling that. Honestly, of course, you know, every first impressions of a fighting game, especially one that has a totally new combat system, it's just gonna feel like you're pressing buttons. So I will admit, I kind of feel like I'm just pressing buttons here, guys. But also at the same time, I know a lot about games, especially fighting games. My favorite genre, multiplayer fighting games, where it's, you know, more than just one person. I love arena-based fighting games. That's why I play MMOs so much. So I was a little bit disappointed that it didn't quite feel fast enough or visceral enough. I just really like the carnage. I think some of the ideas are really cool. You know, the whole idea of this game, the genre, you know, the tag team, multiplayer fighting, that's really cool. I'm really excited for that. I do like some of the different abilities, like how characters can transform. I also think it's really cool, you know, some of the different mechanics, which we will talk about. I just think the game is cool. I just don't think it feels that good, if you understand. When you actually play this game and you get into it, it doesn't quite have the feeling that you would get when you play other games that are more honed into their genre. So like Killer Instinct, it is a really, really fast game. You don't have a lot of space to move around in, but you have all these different combos coming at you. Okay, Naruto, you move really, really fast, and even though there is a lot of space, you're covering the distances instantaneously. In this game, you have a lot of space, but it doesn't even matter. Everything's pretty much homing. You're not moving that fast. I don't know. You're just kind of like bouncing around. I can't really say flying. It just kind of feels like you're bouncing around, honestly. So, other than game feel, let's talk about some mechanics, because they could probably tweak some things. But let's talk about some of these mechanics here. Okay, so we have a life bar. So being 2v2, there has to be some way to justify it. There has to be some way that players can sort of carry the game in case their teammate's a little bit off or whatnot. So some characters actually have less health, so they're less tanky, so it's harder to just kill them. So they actually are worth less. If you kill them, which is technically easy, then they're just worth less. You actually run out of health less. So the team actually has like this health bar. It's a little bit difficult to explain. Hopefully from the gameplay you understand. So a tanky character has 3 life bars. If you kill him, it takes away that team's 3 health bars. Get it? So the woman only has 1 life bar. You're gonna have to kill her 3 times to equate the same life loss as the tank character. So if a team, say, has like 10 health, you're gonna have to kill him 3 times and her 1 time in order to equate for a loss. Do you understand that? It's a little bit strange that they did that. It's an interesting mechanic. I can't say if it's balanced or not, but it is interesting. I don't know what to say about it. So yeah, instead of having a Call of Duty marker or whatever where it's just 5 kills, that's it, whoever gets 5 first wins, it's a little bit different. People's lives are weighted differently. Next, I also think it's interesting that they went a route, instead of having mana, instead of having bars or whatever sort of different mechanic, instead of that, they have ammo, basically. Everybody has these charges of their abilities, and you can use them boom, 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 right, back to back, but then you can run out. And of course, they can recharge over time, but it's just interesting that there is actually a limit. So if you just waste everything at the start, you're going to be worse off for it. And in this game, you really don't want to do that because people can dodge, can block, stuff like that. But maybe strategically, you might want to do that. Maybe they think you're not going to blow all of your stuff at once, and then you do, and you get the kill on the tank. So it could be worth if you are using it for the tank. It might not be worth if you're just using it on the light character and she's just dodging everything. So, yeah. Overall, I can't say too much about this game. This is a first impressions, and I cannot say too much about the mechanical depth of the game. I just know that it's going to be different. I do know that. Just like when I first played the Naruto games and Dragon Ball Z games, I thought that you're just going to be spamming one button, because literally the attack button is just one button. But actually, there's a whole different skill set. It's all about maneuverability and mobility. In this game, it should take the same presence. You know, you don't really have too many different combos, and I'm not even sure that it really matters to too much of an extent. You can break combos with pressing spacebar or the A button on controller. You can do a couple of different technical things, but there's nothing like changing up combos to such an extent as like a high punch, low punch, stuff like that. That kind of things doesn't matter. You lock on and you're gonna hit the target unless they actively dodge out of the way. So it's pretty much like you would play an MMO, like you'd play Naruto. It's a little bit more simple, but at the same time it's a little bit more complicated in other areas that you're probably not used to if you're just playing like 1v1 fighting games like Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, things that don't really have a lot of mobility in them. Alright, so I think what we should do is we should talk about some of the different characters. They have 4 characters right now. We have one really tanky character, which I think is really more focused on ranged. I would say more like support combat, but I don't want to really say support because I'm still not sure how this game actually plays out. But we do have 2 characters which have 2 health bars, and these people, one I would say is very, very aggressive. He's very melee aggressive. Definitely berserker-ish, and he can even have some people, like he can summon minions and things like that to even block shots if you just want to. So you have a lot of playability with that character. And then you have one that's a little bit more straightforward. He reminds me of pretty much the archetypal blonde fighting character that you see like Paul Phoenix and Tekken. I swear he looks just like him. So yeah, he's just kind of like aggressive, aggro. He kind of just goes in your face. He does have a ranged attack. He's more of a balanced-ish character, but a little bit more on the aggressive side. We haven't really seen anything too interesting with the ability sets. They're all, for the most part, they're pretty tame, to be honest. Nothing crazy. But it's still cool to get in these fights and see all these abilities going off. It's just not as impactful as the spectacle fighter Naruto is, where basically entire arenas are being blown up. You don't have anything like that, is what I'm saying. And at the same time, you don't have anything that takes so much skill like you might have in a MOBAs, like say the character Thresh, where you have to hit a chain, and then you have to pull yourself there and then do all these different skill shots. You don't really have anything like that. A lot of the abilities are homing, and basically the skill of this game is just knowing timing. That's pretty much it. It just feels like timing. You have to time when to shoot your homing bullets because your opponents can dodge it. So you're going to want to do it right after they dodge or right after they miss a combo. That's when you're going to want to re-engage with your homing abilities, because pretty much everything is freaking homing. You don't really need to aim anything. Nothing's really a skill shot. So everything's just about timing. If you ever played Armored Core, very similar concept. If you played Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, very similar concept of these 3D space fighters, I guess you could call them, with auto-locking and stuff like that. I do want to talk about the controls, though. The controls for this game are really freaking awkward. You need a controller. Absolutely. There's no point in aiming. Like I said, there's no skill shots or something like that. Even though it is a PC game, they're not taking advantage of the PC controls. Like, they should totally have skill shots. They shouldn't really have locking on, except for maybe very select spells if they want to do that. They should have more spells to use. They should have more technicality. I mean, if we're using a keyboard and mouse, we could do a whole lot. I mean, we see that in Dragon Nest. Dragon Nest is freaking berserk. It's crazy. Of course, you don't have the 3D space element, but still, this game is a controller game. I can totally see it being ported over to consoles, and that's a good thing and it's a bad thing at the same time. You know, like I said, it could be more, but what it is right now, it's fun. It's pure fun. I'm not gonna say it's amazing, but it's fun. And if you guys want to try it out, I cannot stop you from doing that. I actually suggest you try it out. I'm just gonna say that I'm not too optimistic. They're going to need a lot more characters, they're going to need a lot more maps, and they're going to have to do more with the maps, okay? So if you're going to have a fighting game and you're going to have the 3D space, you need to take advantage of that 3D space. You need to have certain things be destructible, you need to have things be obstacles, and stuff like that. And in this game, and in the first map, there is sort of an obstacle element to things. It's very subtle, so hopefully in the next maps, we're going to see more of that. I could definitely see playing it like a sniper support and actually going somewhere that's a little bit more secluded and sniping from that position, so then other people have to sort of go out of the way to come and get you. That'd be really cool. I would really enjoy that. Okay, so if they do more stuff with the maps, they give us more characters, maybe even slotting different abilities. I know that we can attribute our character with different attributes. We can go more offense, more defense, and hopefully that displays when in the loading screen, because it would be a little bit awkward to know, hey, is that sniper a tank, or is he actually like a sniper? Is he going to be doing damage? So if it's going to be like League of Legends with the rune system, I'm not going to like that. It's not fun to do that. I don't know. I just want this game to be fair and competitive, because that's kind of when fighting games really shine. And this game is supposed to be a fighting game. It's not supposed to be an arena MMO or anything like that. It's supposed to be a fighting game. So I'm going to hold it to fighting game standards, and it needs to get up there. It's not quite there. It's not at a polished or competitive level yet. So that's my opinion. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm SkylandShore of FreeMMOStation. I really do hope you guys have fun playing this game. I think it could do well, and I hope it does. Alright guys, see you later. Thanks for watching.